think
the Chinese mess with the smaller consumer.
I think he paused everybody else's tariffs because they all came to the table, and none of them did reciprocal. The only country to do reciprocal is China. So he's like, all right, your shit not going anywhere. I'm going to negotiate with all these other countries, and we're going to freeze your ass out.
In this video, Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne discuss Donald Trump's tariffs. Andrew Schulz explains the benefits of the tariffs to Charlamagne, who thinks they're a bad strategy. With that, let's watch Andrew Schulz school Charlamagne on the topic of Trump's big, beautiful tariffs.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the discussion.
I mean it.
Talk to me.
Run it up. Because
Okay.
it hasn't affected me yet.
Because you got money.
No, because I tell jokes.
Yeah.
But
Once, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had a clothing business, I'm sure I'd be immediately impacted. I haven't bought clothes since.
Microphones cost money, but it affects.
We bought those.
But you're not on tour right now, but it does affect the people who are coming to your shows.
Yes, 100%. I mean, obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. But, like, I think what is happening is people who are more downstream, i.e. me, you, we're not immediately hit by. Some of my friends are in the clothing business, and they're like, dude, like, I won't even have a business if there's 104% tariffs. Like,
It's 125 right now.
It went up again since the
It went up again.
Yeah.
Because Trump,
he paused everybody else's tariffs, but China was trying to act tough.
But you know why he paused everybody else's tariffs?
Art of war.
No.
Use their books against them.
No, because you paused everybody else's tariffs because most everybody else, that impacts the big boys. The big boys probably was like, hey, you fucking with our money.
I think
The Chinese mess with the smaller consumer.
I think he paused everybody else's tariffs because they all came to the table, and none of them did reciprocal. The only country to do reciprocal is China. So he's like, all right, your shit not going anywhere. I'm going to negotiate with all these other countries, and we're going to freeze your ass out. Because all they could have come to the table, they could have come to the table and be like, you know what? That's right. It is weird that there's no tariffs in this direction, and we tariff you. Let's have a fair tariff exchange. But instead, they upped it. Somebody already fucking you, and then you go, I want to make it even, and they fuck you harder? Say again?
China not pussy.
I think it's because we don't get oil from China. I think that's the reason why. It's easier to come to the table about basic goods and not about the thing that's really going to affect the country in a major way.
The basic goods are going to affect us because the regular everyday people are going to be getting hit in the pockets.
Yeah, but he's already elected, so...
But you can't make it worse. If you ran on groceries and making the economy better and making life easier for people and pointing at Joe Biden and the Democrats and saying they're making your life hard, you cannot make nobody's life hard.
But groceries aren't going to go up because of China. We don't buy groceries from them.
Consumer goods will. It's a lot of goods that are going to go up.
We're talking about
Pull up some of the goods.
Talking about clothing, toys, whatever. Like, yeah.
Electronics.
But not
this
groceries.
country, laptops, tablets.
Yeah.
Hair, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit that's going to go up. Pull it up, Taylor.
Hair.
Taylor found out.
Nowhere.
Taylor found out.
But she's right. But electronic and laptops.
While I empathize with people like they're talking about that have been affected by Donald Trump's tariffs, I have genuine empathy for them. However, this is a problem that every administration for 30 years has kicked the can down the road. And it's an inevitable problem that we're going to have to address. But Republican and Democrat administrations haven't addressed it. We're getting screwed as a global trade partner. And China is screwing us worse than anyone. We're not allowed to litigate over there, but they're allowed to litigate over here. If a business owner wants to do business in China, they have to have a local partner. What happens is either legally or illegally, that partner will get their IP and their patents. They'll reverse engineer things, and then they'll find out ways to make them cheaper and sell them back to the United States. So it's not even just the ridiculous tariffs that they put on us. They are abusing us in so many ways. This has to be done. Shipping containers are piling up in China right now, and the media is trying to act like we're the ones that are hit the hardest. As everyone keeps saying, we have to experience some short-term pain for long-term prosperity. Again, this is everyone's fault that has been in charge prior to this administration. But no one wants to do what's necessary like Donald Trump is because they know it will be unpopular. So I fully support the tariffs. I really hope Donald Trump stays the course because he's literally up against everyone here. He's up against Wall Street big time. These billionaires that he's supposedly looking out for, they're the ones opposing him the most. So that's a dumb narrative. You've got some people in his own party. You've got every Democrat. If he's able to see this through, it will truly bring long-term prosperity to this country. And I think it will be the biggest example in history of one man going against the system or the establishment, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
This to you, right? Let's say, for example, we get these tariffs, and people have made a lot of big deal about this. Like, why is there a tariff on Lesotho or whatever? There's an African nation like in the middle of the Atlantic or something.
Or the place where they got all the penguins.
Exactly.
No humans there.
Here's why. Because what used to happen was you would make some shit in China, they would send it to Mexico. Mexico would stamp it, made in Mexico, and then there was no tariffs from Mexico to America. So basically what they did is they go, all right, everybody's going to get a baseline 10% tariff so that you can't do that little fugazi and find the arbitrage. So there are certain things that like they don't look like they make sense, and they're a lot of fodder for headlines, but in reality, I think they do. I think it's all about getting people at the negotiating table. And if it ends up working out, there's a world where like these tariffs that we put on other countries could generate like $750 billion, right? Mm-hmm. If that happens, and then they say, we're going to eliminate income tax for everybody making under $150,000. How would you like that?
It sounds like a pipe dream.
All right.
Yeah.
If
they pull it off, though, I'll tour less.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
If everybody making under $150,000 no longer has to pay income tax because that money is generated by the tariffs.
How much are you saying they're going to generate?
There's been some analytics done where it could be up to like $750 billion.
How much do we owe China?
Trillions.
But you're talking about trade deficit. Owing money is not a bad thing. Like America owes me because I bought treasury bonds.
He'll never lower the deficit. He'll never lower the deficit by doing the tariffs. That's just not going to happen.
I don't think they're trying to even pay off the debt. I've never heard of, America going, oh yeah, here's a little bit on what we owe you. It's not
what we do.
It's not what we do at all. It's like, you want to fight about it? No, you don't want to fight? Cool, then we just owe you.
Most people don't even understand like what the debt is. It's like you invest in America, you buy these treasury bonds, and America goes, yo, we're going to pay you back 5% on that thing you bought. Mm-hmm. So debt isn't a bad thing. It's not like they loaned us money. They're investing in America, and then we owe them when that debt ends up. We'll owe them every year this percentage, and that percentage hopefully is eradicated by the growth of our GDP.
Would you like to know the top U.S. imports from China, guys?
Yes.
Electronics and tech, so phones and smartphones, computers, laptops, tablets, TVs and monitors, computer components, everything that's in this room, basically. Alex, you might as well shut WTF Media down. Machinery, industrial equipment, electric motors and generators, semiconductor machinery. Yep. That's what U.S. factories damn near rely on. Furniture and home goods, sofas, tables, beds, chairs, lighting fixtures, home decor.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Decor, toys, games, and sports equipment, textiles and apparel, clothing, footwear, fabrics, yarns, and raw textile materials, plastics and chemicals, plastic containers, kitchenware, industrial plastics, fertilizers, auto parts, tires, engineering, engines, battery parts, medical equipment and supplies. So that's everything from masks and gloves and gowns to surgical instruments, thermometers. Like, what are we talking about?
Nobody else can make that shit.
Clearly not. If they could, we wouldn't be buying it from China all these motherfucking years.
Well, I think, if we get, I don't know, the right infrastructure, a lot of that stuff is replaceable. But two, if you got a DIY
How soon
page
before this infrastructure gets made, though? See, the conversation that kills me when they talk about it's going to bring manufacturing back to America. First of all, it's going to take several years to build factories in America. Yep. And in 5 to 10 years, it's not going to create no new jobs because it's going to be robots running every motherfucking thing anyway.
But it's more about national security than it is about creating jobs.
There you go.
You need to be able to create your own submarines. You need to have an assembly line. You need to have the manufacturing capability to create the devices that protect you. And if you don't, you're in a real liability when it goes to global war. We couldn't even have we didn't even have masks during COVID.
Whose fault is that?
They made
no. It's America's fucking fault.
So how do we fix it?
That's what the question.
So how do we fix it? Then? We have to incentivize.
We gotta be more like the Chinese. We should be focused on discipline.
That's what we're doing.
We should be focused on discipline. We should be focused on education.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We should be focused on eating healthy.
Yes.
It's really the truth.
They tariff us, so we should tariff them back. That's exactly what we should do.
But
we should do what they do.
That's not going to raise the skill set of Americans.
But why is that so crazy? If other countries
DIY pages.
What does DEI have to do with this?
I said DIY.
DIY?
Yourself. Like everybody, yeah.
Okay.
And you can learn carpentry on the internet.
See, that's the problem.
Yep.
You ain't gotta wait.
Charlamagne's really talking out of both sides of his mouth here. He's like, whose fault is it that we didn't have masks? It's our fault, Charlamagne. That's why we're saying we need to bring manufacturing here. Then when we answer that question, you say, why would we bring manufacturing back here? That's going to take years. Okay, so should we not do it? And then he says, in 5 to 10 years, that won't create jobs because it'll be robots doing it. Again, does that mean we don't want products made in the United States? They mentioned it already. We need essential goods to be made in this country, and we can't be dependent on our biggest adversary on the planet. He's absolutely right. Look what happened during COVID. They had to sell us masks for a virus that they created. And as far as the debt, of course you haven't heard anyone say we're going to pay off the debt. That's why it's a problem. Just like this trade thing's a problem. You haven't heard anybody in the past talk about leveling the playing field as far as trade. And that's why both these things need to be done so urgently. Everyone else is too scared about their reputation or their actions being unpopular, so they don't do it. But Donald Trump is truly doing what's best for the country, and he's the only one that has the balls to do it. If it doesn't get done now, it terrifies me. We'll go back to the status quo of being dependent on China for all our goods, and if we don't start focusing on the deficit now, we'll just continue to run that thing up. So the more and more I talk about these tariffs, the more I'm convinced we have to stay the course. Why would we give up now and just go back to the status quo after all the uncertainty and the chaos that it's caused? We can't let all of this have been for nothing. People that are opposing it are purely opposing it because it's Donald Trump doing it. Everyone agrees that we should wean off of our dependence on China for essential goods. So they all agree in the stated outcomes. So what's the problem? The problem is they just don't like the guy who's doing it. They don't want to see him get credit. Anyway, let's wrap up video.
That's the problem.
The problem is how you gonna watch it because the tablet's gonna be.
TikTok is done. TikTok is done. Tablets are done. Laptops are done. TVs are done.
You're not going to get a new phone every year. Boo-hoo. You're going to have to save your phone for 2 years, 3 years.
You know what? You would say that after your special comes out on Netflix.
I don't get a new phone until the buttons fall off.
You done made all your money. Remember when it was turn your phone to the side. Now it's like your phone. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean?
Don't tariff China, man. You guys got to take those back, bro.
Don't tariff anybody.
Well, if we weren't tariffed, then we wouldn't need to tariff.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't even know what the tariff was until,
I agree.
last year.
None of us know. It's like like fascism.
None of us knew this shit was going on.
We don't know fascism either. We just say it.
I know what fascism is.
But what do you really? I don't. Exactly. If you don't like somebody, they're fascist. Like I called my wife a fascist the other day.
Wow.
I didn't even know what.
Did she deserve it?
Maybe. I don't know. I just said it. It seemed like the right thing to say. You know?
Andrew's making some good points, but at least Charlamagne's acknowledging he doesn't really know what he's talking about. He said, don't tariff anyone. I think we have like a $1.3 trillion trade deficit with the world. That's bananas. It can't continue. We are the most powerful country in the world, and we really need to use the leverage that we have to rebalance the trade playing field internationally. But we want to hear from you. What do you guys think about the whole tariff situation? What did you think about the conversation between Charlamagne and Andrew Schulz? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.